Good morning, Southwest Florida, and welcome to the American Tradesman Show with my guest, Brian Prevet from Prevet Plumbing and Gerald Prevet from Prevet Plumbing, and my main man, Juan Silva from American Electrical. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Well, it's a kind of a stormy storm day there, eh, Gerald?
It is.
It's almost like it's kind of up to you, Gerald. I mean, earlier off the radio, we were talking about scrubbing bubbles, scrubbing air, right? Is that what we were talking about, scrubbing air?
That's exactly right.
Well, I'm not going to go into the dramatic side of, what's it called? E. coli? What is it? COVID-19?
Corona?
COVID-19. Hey, I heard that. I wanted to hear this. I mean, I heard that the stock market, I mean, this sounds funny. I'm not making a joke, that the Corona beer itself, the stock market has dropped in half for Corona beer.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I
don't doubt it.
I mean, because they got the names so close to each other, I'm hearing on the stock market that they're having a battle because Corona beer has just dropped completely.
So if you got the money, now's the time to buy.
Bud Light, baby. What I say is Bud Light. That's American, right? Bud Light. Well, Gerald, on a Saturday, I wanted to kind of bring up the coronavirus. I mean, I don't want to say I'm not scared of it, but I do want to say I am scared of it. But in the sense, it's got the whole world in a craze. I mean, and I say world, right, Juan?
Yeah.
It's the American people right now in a craze. I mean, we're not going to talk about a lot of toilet paper and scrubby bubbles, but we're going to talk about the air and air quality, right, Gerald?
That's right. So, I mean, you are having, exposure to the coronavirus here in Florida. A lot of what is going around is also, respiratory illnesses such as like the flu, these kind of symptoms that are not coronavirus related. And so what I wanted to tell you is there are ways to protect your home. We do have machines. We spoke a little bit on it last week where we can actually come in and we'll run these machines and it scrubs the air that's going to be in your unit, and it'll also clean the air. So we have a different machine for that. We have one that is going to pass through this machine and it's going to remove any microbial particles, anything like that. The other machine is going to basically clean, and I mean thoroughly clean your air. So it's going to remove any kind of viruses, any kind of bacterias. It's actually going to generate oxygen for your home. So you're going to have a higher level of oxygen once this machine runs. If you do have odor in your home, it will remove any and all odor in your home. And so that's something that I really want to push. If you feel like you may have a home that may have an issue, give us a call over at B&K 239-398-9834, and we can actually come out and try to eliminate any kind of microbial threat that may be in your home to give you a better frame of mind about your home air.
Scrubbing bubbles, I mean, earlier, but it's really scrubbing the air, right?
Yeah.
Is that like a soap or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a cleaning product.
It's a cleaning product.
Yeah.
But, scrubby bubbles, scrubby air, I will say that if you purifier or ozone machine, right?
That's correct.
In a unit, you're going to tell 10 times more the air inside the home itself. And not only that, you're going to run it with the air conditioning on, right?
That's correct.
So when you're running with the air, you're really kind of purifying the air ductwork, correct? Am I saying that?
That's correct.
And more importantly, I mean, I myself, I mean, what I see is that, I mean, cleaning people, meaning cleaning homes and Mary Maids and some of these people that are cleaning, I know that it's going to be a very hard part to put any kind of reliability on them cleaning the house 100%. Does that make sense?
Correct. I mean, they can clean hard surfaces, but they can't clean your air. And that's the big thing. If you wipe across a hard surface, chances are, while you are removing most of it, some of it may get put back into the air where it floats for a while before it may return back down.
Yeah, we talked about that last week about drapes, remember?
Correct.
I mean, not to say it, but the blinds, the drapes, I know they don't get cleaned every day. And from my standpoint, I get scared just thinking about a hard person or, a cleaning person is not going to get in the corners. They're not going to clean the drapes. And it will stay in the home once they walk out that day.
Correct. But, I mean, if you have a fabric couch, there's no way to remove it out of that fabric couch. If you have a painting on the wall, there's no way to remove it off that painting. You have to think canvas is what most paintings are painted on, and that is a fabric surface. Even though it may have a layer of paint on it, even the paint has ridges in it, and that's an area for something to land and stay on. And like I said, viruses, bacteria, you can get up to 6 or 7 days where these things can live. And so that's something you have to think about, when you bring it in on your clothing from the outside, you come in, who knows where it may land and where it may deposit. If you plop down on your couch, who knows in what direction it may go from there.
Well, if you like wine, maybe you go inside and you give your honey a kiss, right?
Oh yeah.
So you take it right in. Kids, give me a hug.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's more on the other end. I'm receiving it from the kids.
Yeah, so you're gonna kind of touch family, and they're gonna touch things and toys and everything else. And I don't know how that's gonna be contained. You say that you want people to quarantine themselves in a house for 10 days, but hypothetically, this thing looks like it's going to go on for a little bit more than 10 days in the first place, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, people are going to have to go out at some point, especially, before anything else is enforced. And you're going to have to make runs to make sure you stock up on things. And when you go into these places, that's going to be your biggest threat because, these people, everybody's rushing to these places to get the supplies they need. And who knows what you're going to come in contact with. And,
I hate to cut you, but it was funny. I had to go to the physician's regional yesterday for the doctor's appointment for my knee. And when I walked in, I couldn't get in. They wouldn't let anybody in unless they had a doctor's appointment. The rest of the people had to sit outside, wait for their wife or husband to come back, and then pick them outside. So they wouldn't let nobody in unless you had an appointment at physician's regional. So when you walked in, you go to the left, there's a guy standing there with a table, and he's got a stack of papers, and he's got all these pencils in a bottle. I mean, thousands of pencils. He goes, just get one of those pencils out of there, right? So at first I had to think to myself, is this guy actually asking me to put my hand in the pencil jar and use the pencil to fill out the application? Listen to this. To allow them to let you know if you have the virus, you need to tell them now. So I had to look at the guy, and then I go, well, who's cleaning the pencils? And he goes, well, and he pulls out from underneath a jar of soap and water, right? And I looked at him, and I go, what is that going to do? He goes, well, I spray down and wash all the pencils once you're done with them. Oh, I go, oh, so then you throw them back in the jar? And he goes, yeah. Do you clean the jar? No. I go, you don't even have gloves on your hand. I mean, this is not looking good to me. I mean, this is the hospital, and this guy's doing this.
Well, yeah, I mean, they recommend to wash your hands for 20 seconds. So is he washing a pencil for 20 seconds?
I will tell you that, I mean, it is very, I mean, for a lot of people probably, it seems chaotic, it seems scary, but on the other hand, we're not really taking it seriously.
Yeah, I think that's the problem too with us Floridians. I mean,
Too
we
many
look at
hurricanes.
we look at hurricanes come our way, and we're like, yeah, we'll be all right.
Close the garage door, honey.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. Close the windows. But you're absolutely right. Some people are taking it heavily. I seen on Facebook somebody's posting on there, how real are you taking this? And it says 5%, 10%, 20%, 100%. And most people on there are telling them 5%. They're not taking it real. I mean, they're taking it lightly. So then I get somebody to call me up and say, hey, listen, man, I want you to know there's only 27 respirators at Collier County Hospital, in Naples Community Hospital. 27 respirators. 27. Did you hear that number?
Yeah.
So if 27 people have the virus, those are the lucky 27. If another 27 walk in, you have to have 12 hours on a respirator, I'm hearing. 12 hours. So those people would have to wait 12 hours in order for those people to get off. By the time you're done, if you had 36 and 48, it's over. You're not going to be able to put anybody in respirators. So that's the scary part to me because, I would be scared. I mean, in an older standpoint, I'm not saying I'm not old, but in an older standpoint, I mean, these older people are the ones they're looking at.
Yeah, they're the ones that we got to worry about.
Yeah, I got to say, I got a mother-in-law that's 91. I would definitely be the ill if that would be the part of it. But, I want to jump back over there. If you're going to put ozone machines, I mean, what kind of setup? I mean, what kind of time frames for people that are doing this? I mean, if I came and called you and said, hey, listen, I got to get my air cleaned in my house. I want to feel better, Gerald. What would it take?
It's going to depend on the square footage of the house. Most homes can be done, within a 2 to 4 hour time frame, possibly up to 6, depending on the size. I know our office, we ran it last night for 2 hours straight. You cannot be in the building while it's being ran, or no pets or anything. But once it's done, you give it probably an hour and a half afterwards, you're good to go. And like I said, we ran it last night just to make sure. We want to make sure that we're not going to be doing anything because we also have the plumbing company, and that's a big worry. Is you're still running service, and people are still needing things done, and you definitely don't want to cross contaminate anywhere. So, like I said, we've been running that to make sure that our guys and our staff are going to be in a very productive environment and not going to have any setbacks from what they may pick up from anywhere else. So.
One of you guys out there in the community developments, I mean, if you have these units where the multifamily is at, I would be first guy to call. I mean, Gerald over at B&K, just because of, I mean, what you're saying, he could probably take one machine and move it from one area to the next, right? So, I mean, one of the things it's important is it's clean air. I mean, you're not going to get that in your car. I mean, you're not going to roll the window down and say it's clean air, right? I mean, I roll my window down and it's a lot more than clean air.
I'm afraid to roll mine now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's down to the point where I got to clean my cabin filter because, I mean, it's bad out there.
I had to roll past the hospital yesterday to look over with the windows down. All of the fumes were coming at me. But, again, Gerald, what's the phone number of the Gerald B&K?
It's going to be 239-398-9834.
And don't fret.
Call
Prevent. What's that phone number?
And that's going to be 239-596-5533.
Well, I don't want to stage my sole radio show for Saturday morning about coronavirus. I mean, we are subcontracting companies. I mean, we are local companies in Southwest Florida. And, we're over here to try to help out the consumers, right, Juan?
Yeah. And, one thing I want to kind of say is that, we all as a country are going through this, but we are Americans. We are resilient people, and we all stand together. And I know that we are going to make it through this just fine.
God bless America. That's right. Well, we all want to stand behind America. I don't want people to think that this whole world is going to a hell and pot, right? But a lot of it's got to be with your own energies and your own vibes to give it even off to your kids. I mean, your family. We're not going to bend that easy, and I won't start pointing fingers where it came from. But we will say this, I mean, it became a trade show game, and that's probably where the trade wars caused most of these issues. But, again, I'll say this, I'm not going to blame anybody. We just need to pick up our pants and move on, right?
Pick up our pants, move on, I say let's, reach out to your community, see what your neighbor needs help. Of course, we need to watch out for our elderly, make sure that, when you do go shopping, keep them in mind, for the day-to-day people who are not panicking, and just want to do, simple grocery buying, it's getting harder and harder to find product. So I know we all have to take care of our families, but let's watch out for one another as well.
You brought up a tough situation. I mean, the elderly are having hard times going to the grocery stores to find the toilet paper. And I yet in my own mind to figure out what the toilet paper game is. I guess if we would have said Cheerios, everybody would be buying Cheerios, right?
Right.
I'm lost on the toilet paper thing. Okay, clean, hand sanitizer, I'm getting that part, right, Juan?
Yeah, I get that, but I just don't get the toilet paper.
I'm not sure if everybody. I don't want to make a joke about it, but does everybody? This is going to be on you and BK and Prevent Plumbing, because I feel that you're going to get a lot of backed up sewer lines here. Within the next 3 weeks, you're going to be busy.
They're going to have to use up all this toilet paper that's being bought.
I'm not sure where the toilet paper is going, but if you are listening to us on the radio show this morning on Saturday and you need help, from a standpoint of dry goods, paper towels, toilet paper, anything you need, napkins.
Yeah.
Won't go any deeper than napkins, but if you need anything out there, feel free to give me a call on my cell phone at 239-825-1261. That's 239-825-1261. That's my personal cell phone for American Contracting Services. Over at American Electrical One.
Yeah, give us a call too. We're still running our crews out. I do know that there are a lot of businesses that are closing their doors to the fact that they're not sure what's going to happen. We are keeping our guys informed, on the process. So if you have any emergencies, any things of that nature, like I said, we got to take care of our elderly. So if you're having any electrical issues at your home, you can still give us a call. We'll come out. We'll service you. Give us a call at 239-353-4389.
Well, Gerald, over there, you and Brian and all of us here on the radio show, we give our hearts to all this all the time, through Christmas, through New Year's. I mean, happy days, bad days, good days, right, Gerald?
That's right.
So we all have to pull together, like Juan said, as a country to make sure that everybody watches after everybody, because that's what we're about. That's what this country's about. God bless America, right, fellas?
God bless America.
Well, Juan, I don't want to keep going on it, but the coronavirus is one thing, but one of the biggest things that I would suggest to start talking about is generators, right?
Yeah, one of the, we touched a bit on generators on the show, and I want to talk about the interlock kits. So you know what I mean. We have different price points on where you can to meet your need as for a generator, as a backup generator. For situations like this, for the coronavirus or whatever the case may happen, if you have an outage, or even like the Mercado having, an AC catch fire
Yeah.
on the rooftop. But we're speaking of ACs there, but it may affect the electrical as well. So, it's always good to have something in place, in case of emergency. That way, if you do lose power, you have something to light you back up. So with that being said, we do offer interlock kits, which is an introductory to backup power for your home. And what that does is that gives you the availability to plug in a standby generator, a portable generator, to where you can pull out of your garage, plug into an outlet, turn on the generator, turn off your main breaker, turn on generator power, and you have lights and running water in your home.
Well, one of the things from an audience standpoint, is that the most important thing of all this is that we talk about a lot of times on the show is the lockout kit that works for that panel, where you can just put an outlet, right?
Yep. So the lockout kit in general is something that we have to install per code, and what that does is that it takes into consideration the lineman down the line, who's doing repairs in the light poles, that you see out in the streets, or the green transformers that are located in the ground, to make repairs. That way, if generator power is being ran through your home, it does not filter its way back down the line and injure a lineman.
From a standpoint of that lockout kit, the understanding of it is that, if you have a main breaker being fed from Florida Power and Light, right?
Yes.
And then you now attach what's called that lockout breaker. That breaker, that main breaker in your home that turns on that panel, will be locked out, right?
Yes.
And that means that you're not able to turn on the main breaker without turning on what we call the generator breaker.
Yeah. So what would happen is, with this kit, like Anthony stated, you would have to physically turn off your main breaker, basically stating that you cannot no longer receive power from the utility, and then turn on your generator power breaker, and vice versa. You cannot turn on your utility main breaker unless you turn off your generator breaker. It's a safety
Safety switch, really.
Safety switch, in essence, for us, that we have to install for your safety and the safety of the linesman.
Just so we're all on the same page, it won't allow backfeed from the power of what you're doing.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it is. We're using a breaker in your panel to backfeed power from the generator into your electrical panel to feed power throughout your home. So in essence, if the main breaker was left on, it'll filter through, backfeed through that main breaker, back through the lines, all the way back to the transformer.
Yeah, we don't want that, because I can tell you, over the years of hurricanes, I've seen a lot of homes burned down from it.
Yeah, well, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because there are times where, if you use an AC disconnect outside, you use a water heater outlet, if it's wired, that way back in the day, or a range outlet or a dryer outlet to backfeed your home with generator power. And there are times where homeowners have forgot to turn off their main breaker. You have no idea when FP&L or LCEC is going to turn the power back on. So now you have utility power entering your home, and you have generator power entering your home, and that is just a real bad case, real bad scenario.
It's death. It is not really. This is not a bad scenario, because most linemen are prepared to ground out on the pole, but they're not. Prepared for backfeeding through the line, and that means the guy's working on the load side of that transformer, and he could get killed. And that, to us, I myself, in my 30 years of business, had an employee, if you remember correctly, got electrocuted, and I will not get too deep into it, but that was probably the worst times in my life. I've had a lot more, but I can tell you that was probably the bad side of it. But you don't want that to happen. I can tell you, nobody wants any death on their side. More so, we don't want you to be in responsibility for it. So this lockout kit is definitely inexpensive, very, very, I mean, cost effective to put in your house. Much more cost effective than even putting a 12 circuit transfer switch.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to us. We know that we can manage 90 probably percent of the breakers in your panel with maybe 10 kW generator.
Exactly. We could do a 10 kW generator, and
Portable.
portable. And, there's no need, to buy a 12 circuit transfer switch, a 16 circuit transfer switch. You're in essence buying a whole nother panel and breakers when it's not needed. And you have that large cost there when we can reuse your existing electrical panel that's in your home and just attach this small kit and get you up and running with a portable generator. Us here at American Electrical, what we do is we go through the process with you. If you're, when a client gives us a call and we ask them, what is it that you're thinking about powering up? And we go through the line, we do the load calculations, and we size the generator that's going to be best for them. And then we do our installation and walk through and do a training with them. That way they are informed on how to operate, turn on. Most cases, the generators that we provide are no longer a pull string. They have a battery. It's a push start. Makes it easier for everyone. And it's just an all-around great package.
And actually, we're talking about Generac portable.
Yeah, Generac portable. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of things that the understanding of it from a homeowner standpoint is that you need to understand the basics of it. It's not an expensive kit to put in. How much does it cost to install?
We'll do $675 installed.
If you take a transfer switch, it's going to cost you $1,500 wired, installed, and then you're going to tie up maybe 8 circuits, and you're not going to be able to tie up, an AC. And I say that unless you had a 12 kW generator, and that would be it would be a standalone, right?
Yeah.
So, we are the professionals at American Electrical for generators and for these generator lockout kits, because we know, most people can't afford, $1,500.
Yeah, $1,500
just for a transfer switch.
Just for a transfer switch, or even to do an overall large package. That may not even be necessary for the size of home that you have or what you're looking to get done. We have variety of packages, and we will customize it to meet your needs.
A lot of times I tell people, if you take the lockout kit at what did you say it was?
$675.
At $675, you get yourself hypothetically an 8,000 kilowatt generator, right?
Yep.
Out of that 8,000 kilowatt generator, you're going to run all the lights.
Yeah.
I don't see ever being a light on problem. You're going to be able to turn the refrigerator on.
Yep.
You're going to be able to turn the microwave on.
Yep.
The reality is that we've stopped there. If you live in Golden Gate Estates, Cape Coral, Lehigh Acres, where you have wells,
Yep.
It's going to run the wells.
Yep.
If you need hot water, you'll be able to manage those breakers, right?
Yeah.
To turn the hot water on. The reality is you go and buy a window shaker
Yeah.
for $165. You put it into your window and you stick a plug on it, and you can have AC in your bedroom and all your lights working off that.
And you would be surprised. You would be surprised. The $165 window shaker you said, you stick it there, and how cool your master bedroom is, or whatever the case may be. Keep in mind, guys, this is something that, you may have to spend, 3 to 5 days, worst case scenario, but it's livable. It's doable. In case unless you're thinking, okay, well, I have a larger family and I want to do my entire home, which we can do that too.
Standalone. But then remember, what people have to understand from a standalone side is that because there's a concrete slab, you have to have a general contractor, most places involved, or we can set that pad on the top of the ground.
Yep.
The second of all thing is that you got to pull permits, right?
Yep, we have to pull a permit.
And the way the county's working now, you got 2 months, right, Gerald? 2 or 3 months, it seems like, to get a permit from anybody right now.
It's like pulling teeth.
I can't get them to even pull up. I won't get deep into the county, but the reality is that this is a thing that we could probably set up for less than $1,500 with the generator, and you could have power, maybe $2,000, right?
Yeah.
The reality is that I know the homeowner, the consumer out there goes, I don't want to spend 15 grand, right? You're buying a car at that point. But if you use the lockout kit and you use a regular window shaker, putting it in the window in all your rooms, you'll probably spend less than $500. And it's only for emergencies we're talking about, right?
Only for emergency. You roll it out. Everyone has, well, I'm going to go back. We should have, but Floridians, we wait last minute with hurricanes, but we should have a hurricane kit. So those of us who are preppers and who do have hurricane kits, and you know what I'm talking about: batteries, flashlights,
C-rats. MREs.
MREs.
I heard prepper in there. I got a little
Yeah.
nervous. I didn't want to say nothing.
We're not getting into ammo just yet, but
I do have a basement in Florida. I won't tell you how deep it is, though.
so yeah, and that's going to be part of your emergency kit. For us Floridians, we should have them, and that'll just be part of it.
Again, at the 675 is what Juan said it on there. If you're listening to this show today, myself, I'm going to offer you a 10% discount today for American Electrical to get that lockout kit in before hurricane season starts. And I will tell you, if you're going to get this for $600, it's a prime deal to do that, right, Juan?
Yeah, and that's going to include the lockout kit, the 50 amp receptacle for a generator, and installation. I mean, you can't beat it.
No, again, what's the phone number at American Electrical?
Yeah, give us a call at 239-353-4389.
Again, I want to go back on that lockout kit. If you're a veteran out there, I'm going to offer you another 5% discount and you need 15%. I'm giving you 15% off on that. I want you to give us a call over to American Electrical. Now is the time to do this before the season comes. And I don't want to scare anybody, no scare tactic, but if things start to become hard enough to try to get gas, right?
Yep.
Things could cause some problems for power. Things could cause a lot of problems for this country if we start to back up. So be prepared for it. Don't get yourself in a bind before hurricane season calls.
And I want to chime in on that. Everybody gets the prep ready attitude right before hurricane season. And for the generators, most folks will only call a generator company. And before you get most anything done, everybody wants a second estimate. And that's why, if you're listening right now, call American Electrical to get that second estimate, because they're not a generator company. They are an electrical company. So they understand the aspects of controlling your whole home. A generator company is going to look at, I have option A and option B, and both of them are outrageous. It's a whole new generator, whole new setup, but they don't understand your electrical side of it. So, in a prep situation, if you're not looking to spend everything you got at once, give them a call, because they do have affordable options to control portions of your home, control what you need to get by for 4 to 5 to a week's time until FPL comes back and gets you put back online. And usually you're not out for more than a week, maybe a week and a half, even during, some severe hurricanes. So, it's not like you have to go out there and spend a brand new car's worth of money to get options to power your home during an emergency. And that's where you need to give American Electrical a call, because they know your electrical in your home. They don't know just the generator. They know both sides of it. And that's where you're going to come out better on the economic side of it.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Joe, this is a question I got asked today. I actually went out today, speaking of generators, to take a look at creating a proposal for a potential client. And she's a widow, and she had a hard time. Recently her husband passed away, and her concern was with me. She tells me, Juan, what am I supposed to do? What do I do? I'm confused. It's electrical. It's mechanical. What do I do? I don't have my husband here. What happens if there's an emergency? And those are very valid questions. For anyone to ask. And my answer to that was, well, it's like a lawnmower. If you kind of think about it, it's an engine. It takes gas, but this one takes either LP or propane. And we're talking about standalone generators here. So, I told her, just like anything else, even your AC unit that's outside your house, it takes maintenance. And we spoke about this once before on the show. It takes preventative maintenance. It takes for a technician to go out and change the oil in it, make sure it's running properly. That way, when the occasion comes where you do need it, it is in operating order. It's nothing you physically have to do, because that is what we do at American Electrical. We will come out, we will service it once a year. We'll make sure that it has oil. We'll change the oil after its first test cycle to make sure that everything is optimized for you. That is what we do. And then we are also a 24-hour service company. So, it doesn't matter if you're going to call me at midnight or at 4 a.m. We answer our phones, we dispatch our techs. That is who we are. We take care of our clients.
One of the things you're saying, from a take care of your clients, if you become our client, you are our client, just like Gerald over at B&K and Brian from, Prevent Plumbing. You are our client from that time point on, lifetime, right, Gerald?
That's it.
And if you call us at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm sure Juan's going to answer them.
Yeah. I may not sound, sweet right now, but to be a little groggy.
Yeah, he don't sound as chipper as he did at 1 in the afternoon.
I don't know about 1 in the afternoon, more like 8 o'clock. He's a lot chipper than he is by 1. But, this is important for the consumer out there. We're going to come out and assess it, and then we're going to talk to you about, like Juan talked to us just now, what's the best, solution for your home? Because I would say if it was my wife, my mother, my grandmother, and she was calling saying my grandfather, my father, or somebody that wasn't in the home, and it was, by myself, I would be the first person to probably tell you I need a standalone generator, right? I wouldn't, I couldn't stand there and tell her, well, come out of here, push this button, take the trailer. What? There's no way you're going to lock up a person in a portable that really can't handle it. And that's just part of the things that we can do. Now, we do offer financing, right, Juan?
We do offer financing, but Anthony, I just wanted to mention this is something that we do too. If a hurricane is going to come out and you do decide to go with a portable, now we do offer larger portables, and what I mean by that is in kilowatts. We do offer a 15 kW and a 17 kW, but these are the things that we don't really kind of push forward. Reason being because these things are like tanks. We can install them and permanently fix them to your home if you wanted to, but they are large. But a service that we do offer during a hurricane time, you can give us a call. We'll dispatch a tech. We'll pull it out, get it prepared for you, and do another rundown on how to kick it on and to turn on your interlock kit. That way you're good to go. Or even if you're out of power, we will come out and get it started for you.
A lot of times, like I said, a lot of people act on the I guess the situation, right? One, the coronavirus came out about a week and a half ago, and everybody's flipped out by this time. Restaurants, bars, everything's closed, and look, it only took a week. Right? Think about it, Gerald. It's taken a week. Last week we were talking about Brian's Cadbury eggs, and here we are. Here we are talking about the coronavirus and mold, and last week we were talking about the air quality, and here we are this week talking about death. This coronavirus came in. I wish it'd give me a beer or two or something, right?
Yeah.
I take that. But, we're talking about right now reality from a generator standpoint. If you don't have a generator, if you don't have any capabilities, and I don't say by plugging it into the water heater, plugging it into the dryer, don't plug it into the AC unit. If you don't have that capability and the understanding of electricity, give us a call at American Electrical. I offered 15% discount for a veteran. I just offered 10% for a regular consumer. If you can give us a call this week, I'll even give you an additional 5%. Juan, you'll take the 15%?
15%.
All of it is just give us a call over at American Electrical at 239-353-4389. That's 239-353-4389. And again, I reiterate, now is the time to get these lockout kits in. They're inexpensive to install. You manage the load in your whole panel, and this is a prime way to make a cheaper version of a real standalone generator, right, Juan?
Yes, sir. And then if you decide for us to actually provide you a portable generator as well, a whole kit, interlock kit with the generator, we can do that as well. We'll get it up and running, started, and teach you how to use it.
Yeah, we give you self-by-self instructions.
Yep.
We show you how to do it. Again, I don't say this is for everybody out there, but if you even have your own generator, it's going to be the best way for the solution for the version of what we're explaining to you, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's around that time that we give out the shout outs to everybody, and each week we have this shout out, and it's important to you guys out there for the smaller companies that we know, the subcontractors, the real estate agents, the people that we associate with on a daily basis. And I want you guys out there to understand it's about small companies. It's about local small companies, right?
Yep.
Well, Gerald, who was your shout out this week for?
Okay, so I'm going a little different route this week. And this week, I'm going to give a shout out to all of our first responders, especially our paramedics and firefighters, because they don't know when they go to these calls for, especially like the elderly who are, needing an ambulance or, any kind of issue like that. What they're getting into and what they're going to be exposed to and what they may have to take home to their family. So this week I want to give a shout out to them because right now I know, it's a very scary time for them with them having to encounter. But, as a general public, we need them and just want to say thank you and give a shout out to them.
That's a big amen to the first responders. Without them, we'd be in hell. I can tell you that right now. And
That's exactly right.
And more importantly, I really got to give a shout out. It's funny, but I seen the other day a post on Facebook. It says, well, we don't have any sports, no entertainment. How about we give out the shout outs to the restaurant people and the waiters and the waitresses and the people at the grocery stores?
Yep, the baggers.
The baggers. Any of those people right now that are really kind of hustling it and listen to probably people complain about no toilet paper, right? So, it's a shout out to all those working people and those people that are really, really killing it right now to try to keep it alive. And Juan, go ahead.
Even those truck drivers.
Those truck drivers. My brother's across country. My brother called me last night and said, I don't think I've worked this hard in my last 25 years. I said, it's about time. You just driving. Keep driving, no talking. But, he's right because these drivers are going to now, it's an 80-year ban that Trump lifted, right, where the truck drivers can drive more than 24 hours or 12 hours. He told me that last night. And, that right there tells you what kind of Trump guy is, right? He's a guy for the people. I won't say that anymore, but I got to tell you that I love my president. I love my president. I love my president. Juan, do you love him?
I love him, and my shout out today is actually to our president, President Trump.
That's it.
Trump 2020, and I'm proud that he is my president, and I'm proud that everything that he's doing for us and the way he's tackling this coronavirus outbreak, and he's just going to keep trucking forward for us.
Amen. He is the man of the year. He should be on Time Magazine. Forget all these sports entertainment people, right? Well, again, we're not a political show. We tell you who we really kind of care for, right?
2020.
And in 2020, that was a subliminal, right?
Yep.
And I want you guys to know, Juan Silva is a Mexican American that was born and raised right here. So if anybody in the sense of all of it wants to talk crap about the Mexican Americans, come and see me because there's a man for the Trump man, Mexican American.
I think if anybody would know about capitalism, it would be the Mexican American. You know what I mean?
That's right. And not to say it, but you're smart enough to know the difference, right?
Yep.
And that's the part about all of it. Not to say it, I'm not getting political, but you can't blame the president for a coronavirus that came from another country that planned it. So I'll move on from that. I wanted to go back one more time about scrubbing bubbles. I'm not talking about in the tub for you, Gerald.
Rub a tub.
It's more and more about the air because I got to tell you, I say to myself the other day, I was that, that air that people are breathing on a daily basis, it comes in from the house and goes out to the house. It comes into the house, kids bring it. Taking kids out of school doesn't stop them from going to parks. I see them at the malls. They're taking them all around, and I know people are not taking it serious, but they should take it serious because this is something that it could cripple this country.
Yeah, you really have to think about the indoor air quality of your home because, how many people nowadays, really open up their windows for extended periods of time in their home. So, what gets brought into your home just keeps recirculating in your home. The only time you really open the door is when you're going in and out. The weather right now is definitely not cool enough to warrant opening up all the windows and doors and turning the AC off. That's for definite. So, how often do you really air out your house? And that's, the big concern, especially right now, because what you bring in stays in your house and just keeps recirculating in your home. And that's something you really don't want to keep having to do, especially, in a time like this. You want to be able to clean the air that's in your home.
That ozone machine, for the audience to understand, when you turn that ozone machine on and you leave it on for how many hours, Jerome?
I would, at least a minimum of an hour, hour and a half.
It's going to purify straight through your ductwork in your home. That ozone machine is a lot of times what the air conditioning companies kind of make you feel like you're getting something is they spray some chemicals up there and then they run the ozone. So I know that ozone machine works because that's something I could tell you. I put in several homes of mine that I've renovated, and it works, wonders to the air inside. And I will say this again, we're talking about safety issues. We talked about the generator lockout kit, but this is about air quality of your home. So if you guys are locked up in quarantine for 10 days, that air is going to be pretty stagnant, right?
That's right.
I'm not getting nasty about it, but that's more than number 2 and number 3 water, isn't it?
Yeah.
So again, if you're looking, and I'm talking about getting that house scrubbed by air bubbles, I would call B&K very quickly to talk to them. What's the phone number over there?
It's going to be 239-398-9834.
We talk about a lot of things on this show. I mean, from permitting to contracting to cleaning a house to cleaning ourselves sometimes, right? And a lot of times we never really kind of take much into consideration about, your own safety and your own health because we take that for granted, right? Now we have the virus and everybody's scared. Wash your hands, buy new toilet. I mean, I get nervous when they start to say to buy something new.
I know. You're looking at different soaps, and you're going through the aisles, and you're trying to find antibacterial soaps, and you just have all these things going through your head at once. It's like, what should I buy? Or because I'm the type of person, you can't get me into a store because I look at the whole aisle, and I start looking at all the different types of bottles and whatnot and what they do. So it can be a little confusing.
Well, most men, they say that probably walk by half of it. I mean, I could go in the grocery store and pick out groceries probably in about a good 25 minutes. It'd be good for 2 weeks. My wife would go in for 2 days. It'd take 6 hours to get that out of the grocery store. And then she'd wonder why I wanted to go. The only reason why I didn't want to go is because it takes 6 hours to get only a half a day's worth of groceries. I go in, I'll get you 2 weeks. I may have to buy pizza that night.
Right?
I may have to be too tired, but I bet I'll be done in 15 minutes and out the door. Gerald, you being single, you know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can get in and out in 5 minutes, don't you?
That's it.
I do that in Walgreens.
Shit, that and DoorDash. Oh, DoorDash, man. I think that's man's new best friend.
Yeah, that is man's. That's Anthony's new best friend. Actually, they call it Anthony DoorDash food. Well, listen, again, we joke around and kind of give the customers and the owners out there some understanding of purifiers. Semperfi AC. Johnny Lopez over at Semperfi AC is my man for the AC. You need to give Johnny Lopez a phone call over there because he does do a lot of filter cleaning. And I would say that you could kind of kill 2 birds at once, right, Gerald?
That's it.
You got AC that they clean the filters out, and then you could get Gerald in here to get that ozone machine going. And that's part of, an important part. But, it is important to understand the air quality in your house. And I will say this again. I don't know how long you can quarantine yourself in there. But that air is going to get pretty bad after a few days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that actually would be a good idea now that you said it, Anthony. I don't think, I change my filters when my thermostat says change filter, but, I guess your home is used to a certain amount of hours and a certain amount of people being there traffic-wise. And now if you're self-containing yourself within your home, now you're adding more
body heat,
more dandruff, more dust, thirst, or whatever.
If you got animals, think about that.
And you've got animals, so now you're putting all this.
I'm not
pressure.
talking about your kids. I was talking about.
Hey, speaking of the kids, I'm thinking about this. Everybody's done got stocked up on this toilet paper. Now the kids are home from school. And, and especially when the thing first broke out and you couldn't find toilet paper anywhere, I ain't going to lie to you. Me and my brother were looking at each other grinning going, all this toilet paper, what's it going to do? They're going to have to call us to come unstop that line.
Don't fret.
Call Prevent.
I keep thinking that too, man. Plumbers are going to be billionaires when this is all over. I'm even thinking about being a plumber myself. Although I keep thinking about biting my fingernails, and it's not going to work.
If it doesn't get used, I feel bad for Charmin and all these other companies because they're not going to buy toilet paper for the next year and a half, and I don't know what these folks are going to do.
Well, I will say that I put my own video out there, right, on Facebook.
What is it, $2 a roll?
I look like a gangster pulling up on But I say that, again, this is not really about joking around, but take the coronavirus, seriously, ladies and gentlemen. It's not worth all your problems. And I knew the health department or the healthcare is only certain areas right now that you can even get tested, right? They ran out of test kits, I heard, at Naples Community Hospital. I don't know if they brought more in, but I guess it's a drive-through. All you have to do is they swab your nose, and it's a tap on the back and go. So, Naples Community Hospital, I don't know about Physicians Regional. I don't know about Lee County Healthcare if they're doing it, but there's only several places that can test. I know, and I know a lot of it's got to do with how many kits they have.
Yeah, we just got to be aware, and and just be conscious of what we're doing and where we're going and who we're in contact with. And this is the whole reasoning why we're trying to hunker down and limit this. Stay home. You know what I mean. Spend time with your family. Limit the contact with outside people as much as you can. Make one grocery run if you have to. That way we can get all of this past us. We have to be diligent. We have to be conscious and let's just put in the time, get it past us, and that way we can move on to our regular lives.
Well, again, the coronavirus is a real thing. This is not a fake thing, so take it seriously and don't take it lightly. And like I said, find your local place where you can get, tested. I would say the first thing is it's a drive-through over in Naples Community Hospital. Take the chances of getting yourself tested. It's not going to hurt you, and more importantly, then you know yourself you're safe. If you do have it, at least you don't want to infect other people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a safety and security for your own self. I know I feel in my own self that it's a scary situation because people all of a sudden realize if I got something, I want to know what it is. I spent almost 5 years overseas in the Philippines, in Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, Guam. I spent a lot of time overseas, and each time I got off of the boat, I can't tell you how many times they've said, "Come on over," and snapped you with a needle in your arm, and you just agreed. And that night you went and got drunk. you didn't know what was happening. Next morning your arm could have been swollen up like a pumpkin, but you were feeling a hangover. So it didn't matter if you had the hangover, or if you had a big bump on your arm. But I will say, from an audience standpoint, don't wait around. And if you're elderly, I say this again, give us a call over at American Contracting and Electrical, 239-353-4389, or give me an email at ac@theamericantrades.com. That's ac@theamericantrades.com. That's all one word. Again, ac@theamericantrades.com. Again, if anybody out there needs help, toilet paper, anything, I can tell you right now, I rode around with 2 boxes in the back of my truck. I was scared. It was like gold.
Good thing you have a locking tailgate.
So you didn't know it wasn't in the back of the tailgate. It was in my cab.
Oh, they got smart there.
Can't get in the front seat, baby, without me. Well, again, I want to kind of thank the audience for listening. This is an important message. Part of all this is that we talked about earlier. Not scrubbing bubbles, but it was scrubbing air, right, Gerald?
That's it.
And not to say it's important to try to maybe give B&K a call over there. What's the phone number?
It's going to be 239-398-9834.
And over at the generator lockout kit, again, I will say this again. If you have a generator, a portable generator, just call us for the lockout kit. You just got to deal with, it's hypothetically $600 for most people, right?
Yeah.
For $600, we told it $675, but we'll give you 15% to the veterans and 15%. I gave you 10% for the customers, but I'm just going to give a 15% across the board to everybody out there to get in this lockout kit because I believe that lockout is an important thing.
Yeah, and this is going to last through the end of the month. So give us a call, get us scheduled with us, and we can take care of you. Give us a call at 239-353-4389 at American Electrical.
And if your toilet paper stash ends up backing up your sanitation lines, give us a call over there at Prevette Plumbing, 239-596-5533.
Don't fret.
Call Prevette.
What's that phone number, Gerald?
239-596-5533.
That was a long, drawn-out drain over there, Gerald. I don't know where you were going with that, but Gerald, I wanted to go into the plumbing side. I think we got the kind of the bubble scrubbles and scrubbing bubbles thing, but I want people to understand it's important. But more importantly, these toilets are now starting to work a lot more, right?
Well, yeah, that's something I want to touch base on. The kids are at home right now. Your home is seeing a lot more activity during the day than it usually does. If you do have a toilet that is, not giving you issues, if you have, any issues like that, these are going to add to your water bill. Give us a call to come out there. We can run through. We can change out the guts in the toilets real quick. It'll save you a lot of time, frustration. Also the water heater. So the kids are home. They're going to be using the hot water more during the day, washing their hands. They're going to be washing this. Hot water sits on for 5 minutes. If you're having issues with your hot water heater, give us a call. We'll come out there. We'll take an evaluation. Right now, we are doing for a lot of different communities bulk rate heaters. So, if we get bulk rates, then we give discounted prices on the heaters right now, and you can catch a deal. If your community doesn't have one through us right now, give us a call and let us know what community, and we will get one set up with your community. The more we can get, of course, the better pricing. And we want to get everybody, on board to be able to get new heaters and be able to enjoy the offer. But like I said, we can come in right now, especially with showers. I got a call after hours last night. Shower gets used quite regularly. She went to go turn it off, and the water didn't turn off. It was a bad cartridge on the shower. It was an after hours deal. If you are starting to notice that the handles on your shower are getting harder and harder to turn, give us a call, because your cartridge is about to go out on you. And don't make it an after hours call. If it's a during hours call, it's just a regular rate. Anything after hours, of course, is your after hours rate, which is more. So, like I said, if you are starting to notice the handle on your shower getting harder and harder to turn, it's not that it's wearing out, it's the cartridge is wearing out. And when that goes, she had to turn the water off to the whole unit, because here it's just running constantly, and she can't turn it off with the handle. So give us a call over there at Prevette Plumbing. We'll come out, we'll take a look at it and get it taken care of for you.
Actually, I want to kind of do a little bit of shout out to Faye over there at Prevette. We take care of. Gerald went into a little bit of bulk pricing. When he gets large communities to jump on board where they have 30-year-old water heaters or are wired with electrical pigtails that you can't do anymore.
20 amps.
20 amps,
Not
even
even
or
30
amps.
No.
So, and then when they do that, they have to pull a permit. So, and pulling a permit, they have to get a licensed electrical contractor to rewire that water heater. And that's where American Electrical comes in. And I want to touch base on that because he mentioned it. And it's a beautiful thing because, Faye over there, she gets it all scheduled out. The client is in tune. We're in tune on which addresses we're going and scheduled, and it's a very seamless process for the homeowner.
You kind of said that right. I mean, I've known Faye for almost 25 years. I mean, she's got it together over there, and it's important to have somebody that can kind of do that, right, Gerald?
That's right.
And that's important even on any side. They always have some left-handed person. Or, I say left-handed. Don't take that personal.
Aren't you left-handed?
I am left-handed. I'm always right. Remember, I told you that. But the left-handed person, I don't believe in a right-hand man, but I believe in a left-hand girl, boy, whatever it is that's next to you. But Faye is one of those persons that does that for Brian and Gerald over there. And it's important. If you got water heaters out there, you want some water heaters done right and permitted, not somebody that just drives up in a truck and tells you, hey, I got a water heater. Don't pull a permit, right? That's what you hear. I mean, most of the time I hear, why do I got to pull a permit for that's...
And a lot of times the consumer will tell me, well, he said it's like for like. I don't need a water heater permit. That is 100% not true. If you are connected to another unit in any way, shape, or form, doesn't matter if it's townhouse, condo, anything, you are required to pull a permit, period, for a water heater, for a shower, for electrical, anything like that. So don't let somebody tell you, oh, it's like for like, you don't need a permit. That is 100% not true.
And that would come down to the building manager, because a lot of shame on them, because they will do that too. But I will tell you, if you got a water heater, do what the code says. If that water heater leaks in 5 minutes or 2 hours or 2 weeks, Gerald's coming out and making sure, and he's the one. Right, Gerald?
That's right.
Well, we talk about some things on the water side. We want to make sure the drains are cleaned, right, Gerald?
That's right.
And in the same breath, I mean, you guys give a call over at Prevette Plumbing for, drain, sewer clean out, right?
Yeah, we have camera systems, we have jetter systems, snake systems. We can do it all for the drains.
So this is going to come into play, I'm probably sure, within the next couple of weeks about drains. So
yeah,
don't fret. Call Prevette.
I'm pretty sure they're going to deal with a backup.
Yeah. It ain't going to be a front up. Juan, we talked about generators this morning. One of the things I wanted to touch base on before the show is over is surge protection.
Yeah, generators and surges, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand, and the reason being they do that is because usually generators are used when there is a power outage. Well, when you do have a brownout, you want to make sure that you have something in place that's protecting your electrical system in your home. And what I mean by that is protecting, your sensitive electronics. Nowadays, everything has electronics on it. You'd be surprised, your washer, your dryer, your cooktop, your microwave, your coffee maker, everything has electronics pretty much nowadays, and they're very sensitive to surges. So when you use a generator, of course, we provide generators that are going to be sensitive to those electronics, but also you have to worry about the brownouts. And that's basically, when your utility turns on and off rapidly, that's very bad for your electronics. But also when you have a hard, surge when, the system goes down, for example, like when a hurricane happens. So you want to make sure you protect your home with surge protection, and that's something that we do at American Electrical.
And what's that phone number, Juan?
239-353-4389.
And you call Shelby. I'm going to give a shout out to Shelby. I mean, I know Shelby don't get up at 6 in the morning. I said to Shelby the other day, Shelby, you going to get up and listen to radio shows? I don't get up on Saturday at 6 o'clock. Yeah. So we're giving it to you right now, Shelby. You better get up this Saturday to hear your name on the radio, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and she's an important person to us because she is a left-handed person to all of us, and she's a great person. So I love you, Shelby. Well, listen, I wanted to kind of finish up the show and tell everybody, like I said earlier, a part of all of our, subcontractors on the show is about the giving part and also helping part. I don't want anybody out there to feel like you're left out. If you are listening to this radio show, if you do need help, don't fret to call Brevet, but also to call us over at American Contracting and Electrical, because if you need help, I want to help you out. I don't want nobody sitting out there and thinking there's nobody out there for you, right?
Exactly.
And we are about the community. We are small subcontractors, small company that really kind of running on this radio show. Small budget, right?
Yeah.
Small budget, and just like you said, we have to stick together. And when you're purchasing, keep in mind of the small business owners. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it, I love Walmart, I love the big box stores, but keep in mind, if you're going to have to go get some things out, keep in mind of the small business owners. Let's help them out, because at the same time, they're struggling as well.
Yeah, you say that now, and I got to tell you, I know a lot of people, friends of mine, that own restaurants and bars, and I have to have a heart for them. All these people, a lot of them got laid off in the last. I know guys. Brian Bland. I heard him laying off people over at his job at his restaurant, Seaside, and it's kind of a sad thing from the standpoint to lay guys off for 2 weeks. We know that, right, Juan?
Exactly.
We understand it, and to close up businesses for 2-3 weeks, it would probably put a lot of businesses out, and that's a scary thought. So if you're needing anything out there and any help wise, and don't feel free to. Feel free to call me. Feel free to call me. Call us all on this board. If you want to drop me an email, you can even do that at ac@theamericantrades.com. That's ac@theamericantrades.com. Well, we gave a shout out to a lot of people out there. We gave a lot of jokes about the coronavirus. We gave a lot of jokes and insight on air quality, right, Gerald?
That's it.
And then also on the lockout kits for surge protection to these generators. This is the time for you people to listen on this time now, is get these generator lockout kits in so you have a safety. I will say this. This isn't the apocalypse. We're not in desperate times. And if God's coming to get us, we're all getting out of here real quick. So don't get scared for us.
Just keep in mind, like Anthony said, if God's coming to get us, we're just going home.
Yeah, you won't even know about it. Matter of fact, that's going to happen. Yep. So again, God bless America and Semper Fi. Hoorah!